Go to Israel now. Ruth Wasserman Lande is a former Israeli MP with the opposition Yesh Atid party. She is a former diplomat, served as an advisor to former Israeli President Shimon Peres. She also continues to act as a reserve in the Israeli Defense Forces. Ruth Lande, welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us. Do you think the
Thank you.
government in
Not,
Israel...
may I just correct, not
Yeah,
the Yesh Atid party, but the blue and white.
I beg
Benny
your pardon.
Gantz's party, the blue and white.
Right,
That's
sorry
all
for
right.
that mistake. Do you think the Israeli government will feel it has achieved what it wanted to achieve here?
So allow me to say that there's a difference between how the attack is perceived to people that are not necessarily very much acquainted with the objectives, with the damage that was inflicted, and so on. It seemed almost like a little limited to the expectations that were there. On the other hand, Israel set out a set of objectives, and it has indeed met those objectives, in my humble opinion, for the time being, and given those restrictions that the entire world heard and understands prior to the elections in the United States of America. So, according to those limited objectives, yes, those objectives were met.
Right, given that then, and if Iran does not retaliate, it's a big if, could this be an end to the attack and counterattack pattern?
First of all, allow me to say that the Iranians, or rather the Islamic Republic of Iran, has been attacking Israel just about forever, even before October 7th. It rained rockets on civilians in the south of Israel, and everybody just seems to think that that was a normal state of being that Israeli civilians should live with. No. The 7th of October, Hezbollah, the West Bank, Gaza, all of this in its entirety, including right now as we speak, trucks of armaments going across from Iraq, which is ruled by the Islamic Republic of Iran, to Syria, also very much infiltrated by the Islamic Republic of Iran in order to prepare yet another front against Israel. So Iran is constantly attacking Israel. This needs to be in the context and the understanding of any kind of response to your question. And no, I don't believe that this is the end of it, because there is an incessant, constant obsession amidst the Islamic Republic of Iran's leadership to destroy Israel. But I'm again reiterating what I always say. This is just the first step. They've done this in Iraq, they've done this in Yemen, they did this in Lebanon and in Syria. They are trying for years to do the same thing in Jordan.
Do you
For
see
years,
any?
nobody speaks about
Do you
it.
see any end in sight though to direct attacks? You're talking about, I know, Iranian
The
attacks through
proxy
proxies,
attacks,
but
right.
in terms of these direct tit for tat attacks
No.
between Israel and Iran, can you see an end to those?
Yes, I can see, but not for the time being, let's say, until the American elections. I believe that there will be quiet. I do not see that this is the end of the tit for tat, as you yourself had called it, between Israel and the Islamic Republic of Iran directly. One of the reasons, because Iran will simply not stop its obsession via the proxies, but also directly.
So it is your sense that Israel restricted these attacks to military targets because of US pressure?
One of the issues is the US pressure, no doubt. I would call it a respect for an ally. But for the time being, and I reiterate again, I say this is for the time being because it's a very sensitive time framework in the United States, given the elections in 10 days. But this is a threat against the entire world, including the UK, including the United States of America. Intelligence facilities understand and know that. One cannot hide from it. It's very, very overt and obvious. And therefore, this cannot be the last attack against the Islamic Republic of Iran. And here I stress, not against the people of Iran. And that was very obvious in the Israeli attack, which is something that also needs to be taken into account.
Many thanks. That's Ruth Wasserman Lande, who's a former Israeli MP with the Blue and White Party, opposition party in Israel.